Welcome back to the channel. My name is Douglas, and in today's MPC Key Quick Tip, we're going to be talking about exporting your project to an MP3 or a WAV file. So basically an audio mix down of what you've recorded on the keyboard. Really easy and straightforward. We're going to be doing this on a USB thumb drive so that we can transfer it right over to the computer, and I can show you how this works in real time. So I have a little sequence here, just an 8-bar sequence that I put together. So there you go. I threw that together really quick just for this demonstration, and I wanted to show you how to export that. And I'm going to do it to an MP3, but I'll show you the options there. So let's go over to our menu. So over here, we've got this menu button. Tap on that, and we're going to go to this save option here. So when we tap on save, it gives us a few different options of what we want to save. Do we want to save the sequence, the drum program, all of those different things? But what we want to do is we want to save the audio mix down. So we're going to tap on this audio mix down tile here on the screen, and it's going to bring up our audio mix down settings. So we can pick the bar length, so we could actually only export a portion of this. And there's a lot of other settings in here that you can kind of play around with, but what I wanted to point out here is the file format. So if we tap on this, you can double tap it, you can press down on the encoder, or you can just scroll with the encoder. But we can export a few different types of file formats out of here with our audio mixdown. So most notably WAV, MP3. So we're going to do MP3. And before we do this, we're actually going to plug our thumb drive into the back. So in the back of this, we have 2 USB slots that we can plug thumb drives, audio interfaces. I plugged my Focusrite audio interface in, and I was able to see it in here. You could plug controllers in and stuff like that if you wanted to do that. It's like a little mini computer in a way that allows you to kind of do a little bit more than you can do on some other workstations. So in our audio mixdown, we're going to leave it on MP3. We're going to start and end our full 8-bar sequence, and we're going to tap the export button. This is going to ask us for the location that we want to export this to. So of course we could export it internally, but that doesn't really do much for us because we actually want to transfer it to the computer. So the easiest way is to throw a thumb drive in there, and you're going to see that here in your storage options. Tap on that, and then I have an audio folder on my thumb drive. You could enter a new folder by tapping new folder, put that in there. And then you may have to go back to internal and then back to your thumb drive to see that new folder. Sometimes it doesn't refresh here right after you create the new folder. So we're going to double tap on audio. So up at the top here, you can see the actual path that we're in. So we're in our thumb drive, the audio folder, and the file name. We'll call it Soaring High, and we tap on save. This is going to go through, and it's going to give us an audio mix down of our sequence. So that 8 bars that you heard, it's exporting that to an MP3 file. And if we go to our browser, and then over here, make sure you're in the Places tab, can tap on our thumb drive, open up audio, and you'll see Soaring High MP3 right there. So let's pull this out, take it over to the computer, and I'll show you that there. To do this, just as a nice precaution, tap on this little eject button on your thumb drive. Sometimes you don't have to, but it's better to eject if it gives you the option. So here you can see there's this little eject button. We're going to tap that. It says, "Are you sure you want to eject this drive?" We're going to tap eject. It disappears, so we're good to pull it out of the keyboard. Let's go over to the computer, plug this in, and check out our MP3 file. So over here on the computer, I'm just going to plug my thumb drive in. It should show up here. I'm going to open up and then open up our audio folder. And there's our Soaring High MP3. I'm going to double tap on, whoops, it auto opened the folder. We're going to double tap on that. So there you go. Let's check out one more thing. We're going to throw this USB drive back in here. We're going to go back over to our menu, save, audio mix down, but instead we're going to say explode tracks. So what we want to do here is we want to actually explode the tracks out so we can bring each of these audio tracks into our DAW in separate tracks. So we're going to tap on export, and we're going to go in here and we're going to say Soaring High to do it. We're going to save. It's going to export track 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think I have 6 tracks in here. So we're going to let it go through its exporting. And there we go. So now if we go back over to our browser, we go to our thumb drive, audio. So now you can see we have separate tracks here. So if we say plugin 1, plugin 2, 3, so what that did is it actually separated and exported an MP3. Full length of our 8 bars had exported out each track individually. And what's great about this is you'd probably want to do this as WAV files. Then you can drag these into your DAW and do your final mixing there, because depending on how your workflow is, if you're doing all of your recording, mixing, and mastering in the MPC Key, then you don't really have to do this. But these are kind of what I would refer to as stems. So you can actually export out these stems, which is each track individually. And then what I would do is no effects within here. If I was doing an actual project, you could record all of the tracks and just get your basic song recorded in here, and then export out each track as a WAV file, bring those over to your computer, and then do your actual mixing and mastering on the computer in a full-fledged DAW like Pro Tools or something like that, where you have maybe a bit more control, maybe a work surface with your faders and knobs and things like that, depending on your studio setup. But that's another way that you can use this audio mixdown to kind of go even a step further, not just mix down the whole project, but to mix down each individual track. It does that automatically very quickly by checking that separate tracks checkbox, and you're good to go. So I hope this was helpful. If you've got any questions around this kind of like audio mix down, exporting your track out, throw those down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, stay inspired, and keep making that music.